was surprised this week with a third planter box. So now I have 3 raised beds to plant this year. Very exciting. So I had one of these before, last year. It was just a small one, and I really liked it. It was about 1/3 of the size of this. So I thought I would give it a try again because they came on sale at our local hardware store. So I have 4 of them and they hold 36. And you're supposed to just let them soak in warm water, and these little pellets, I'll show you, will just increase in size. So they start off like this, and they increase in size and they turn into a really nice fluffy ground that you can plant a couple of seeds in. So I will show you. So it seems like an awful lot of water, whoops, but you just, some of them kind of float away on you a little bit, but you just push them back where they kind of are supposed to be and plop the cover on and just let that water make them grow. There we go. There we go. And here's one that I did just a few minutes ago. And as you can see, they're all nice and big, and all the water from the inside has been soaked up inside the little pods. Okay, I just wanted to show you how I store my seeds. So I just took a regular binder and marked it. And inside, I just used those little hockey card dividers. And so I just plopped them all in there so that I could see at the front what they were. These were actually green pepper seeds that I took from my grocery store bought green pepper, let them set out to dry on paper towel, and I did get them to germinate last year. It was a little bit late, so I didn't get to enjoy any tomato or some green peppers off of it, but it did grow. They did pop up, so saving those seeds that other people give me, etc. This is just a great way to keep them all in one spot and they're not spilling out inside of a drawer. So just wanted to show you how I store my seeds, and then I pop them up in the cupboard. Hi guys, just going to talk to you a little bit about what I do with my leftover eggshells. So we store them in the fridge until we get a whole bowl full of them, and then I just bake them in the oven on some parchment paper, crush them up, and I can feed them back to the hens. It's a great source of calcium for them to keep their eggs nice and hard. I also can plop it in my garden. It's great for fertilizer for the garden. So I'll just show you how I do that. So I like to bake them upside down, just so that anything that's sort of left inside the shell can run out or bake out, and they're nice and dry that way. So I just take a few minutes just while my oven is preheating and separate everything and make sure everything's upside down. So everything gets baked. This is kind of the yucky part. But it's worth it. The first few times I baked them sort of however they fell on the paper, and there were some gobbledygooks and stuff in there that it didn't bake, and I ended up throwing some of them out. So, I mean, they're still good for compost for the garden that way. I don't want to feed them to my girls if there's still some egg bits in there that might be a little bit too old. Okay, I'll show you that. I have eggshell stuck to me. Okay, I'll show you. They're very pretty. Okay, so I am just going to plop those right into the oven. And I don't worry about the temperature. I put them in at 350 just because it's easy, and I just leave them in there for about 5 minutes. And then when they come out, I'll show you what we do. Okay, it looks like they're done. Let's take a peek. So yeah, they're snapping and cracking, which means they're all done with the baking. And you can see any of the gobbledygook stuff is now baked onto the shell. So now I just let it cool and put it in one of these large Ziploc bags and literally crunch it all up into this nice fine, almost powdery, oatmeal-y type shell bits. And I can either feed that back to the chickens, or I can sprinkle it on and in my garden, and it will help feed my plants. So it'll feed my chickens and my plants. I keep a jar of it, actually, a mason jar of it out in the chicken coop, and just feed it to them every once in a while. I am gonna eventually put a corner feeder right inside their coop, and they can just have it on demand. But yeah, I just grab these shells and plop them in here as they're kind of cooling off a little. Some of them are a little bit warm still. Then all I do literally is scrunch them up as much as I can, and then I'll just seal the bag so I don't get little shell bits flying out at me. And then I just crunch them. That's it. And so they look like this. And into the garden, into the chickens they go. Extra hard shells for the chickens and healthy plants in my garden.